I always feel guilty for taking days off. I feel like I've always got, like, I always give myself too much, so then I've always got work to catch up on. So I feel like I can never take a day off. Because, like, folk are waiting on stuff, so I should be doing it, but I don't know, I've took all weekend off just to spend with the family, and man, I feel like I fucking needed it. It's nice again, we just spent the day doing the beach. I didn't even take my camera the day. I just wanted to give my full attention to my kids. And my wife, but we were kind of Ken. Usually when there's babies, she's looking after my daughter and I'm looking after my son. But yeah, I just always feel guilty for some reason. And even now, I feel like it stresses me out a bit, because now the more I'm like, there's all this work, there's work that I could have done at the weekend, and it would make me less stressed because I've got slightly less today going into the week. But and I don't know why my default is to think like that. Like, my brain just goes to that. I don't know if it's just because it's the way I've worked all my life. Like, literally since I started working at, like, I think I had a job at like 13-year-old, just working in a shop, stacking shelves and shit like that. And even before then, I had a paper run. My mum and dad just to help me with it. And and then when I turned kind of 15, 16, I actually got a job in McDonald's first. Worked there for a couple of months, and then got an apprenticeship at a tiling firm. And then I used to work, even then, I used to work the two jobs. I used to tile like 8 till 5, and then work at McDonald's like 6 till whenever it finished, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was 24 hours at that time, so it was like 11 or midnight or something. And I did that for quite a while. And then I would go to like parties after. And then I wonder why I'm fucking was burning out at like 19-year-old. But I don't know if it's for doing that since I was young that it's just like built into me. So now I just feel like I always need to work. And I guess too, I've always like I was never great with my money growing up. I used to spend most of it on drugs. So, and then when I didn't, I would get like tick. So most folk know what that is, but if you don't, it's just basically a loan. So I'd get a bunch of cocaine on loan and then pay it next week. So my next week's wages were already all gone before I was before I'd even got them. And I lived like that for, fuck man, could have been 6, 7, 8 years, man, doing shit like that. Literally since I started drinking and taking drugs too, I was like at least 23, 24. It was about 25 when I started, I think. Probably 23. I think I got diabetes when I was 23. So I probably stopped drinking and taking stuff about then, or shortly after. And got to the gym and kind of try to look after myself. But yeah, I've always had kind of issues with money and kind of spending all my money on my life. And I always look back at that and think, kind of all that money, man, I must have spent like tens of thousands, man, like just on drugs alone. And I think because I always had this thing in me of like, I like basically became known as the guy that always had Charlie on him. which is cocaine, if you don't know that term, but most folk do. But I was always the guy that would have it on him, so I became like, obviously you're so insecure when you're young, and so I felt like I always had to have it on me. So even if I didn't want it, I would just get it so that if folk asked me for it, I would have it on me, and I would just share it out. I wouldn't even charge folk. I would just like buy a load, spend all my money, and then share it to everybody. And yeah, it's funny. It's funny looking back on it now. And even though I'm 33 now, I'm still like recovering for the things that I've done. Like it takes a long time to get out of that, like financially and just mentally and everything. So it was a lot, man. And I think that's why I've just realised this second, it's probably why I'm so reluctant to be put in some sort of like box or category. And I think this goes back to the fact that I always change the things I do. So I like something, I do it for a while and then I change it up. And I think I'm finding it with the MMA stuff. I still love it, but my brain goes to like, as soon as I'm starting to get known for just doing MMA content, my brain is like, no, I don't want to be put in that box. Like I don't want to, what's the word? Like I don't want to confine myself to just that thing. And I start fucking it for myself, because then I start thinking, like, and nobody even cares but me, but I start thinking, no, I don't just want, like, I can't just do that one thing. Like, folk are starting to know me for that one thing. I need to break away from that and do something else. And I think it comes from that, for the years of being the person that would, for other folk, kind of would do stuff for other folk. Because I'm seen as, like, the person to always have cocaine on them, or this type of person. So I had to make sure I was that person. But then you're letting other folk basically live your life for you, like dictate your life, rather than just doing what you want to do. And it's funny how when you're young, and not everybody's like this, but I was, when I was young, I was so insecure about that stuff. And growing up, like, all you want to be is cool, you know what I mean? It's like the most important thing for everybody. And then when you get older, you just realise that's all fucking stupid. And the best thing to do is just to be yourself and do what you like. And it's funny because then it actually attracts, you end up meeting people in your life that just like you for you. They don't like you because of this thing they think you are. Mm. It's weird, man. It's a fucking weird life. And even to this day, like, I still have that issue of, I just don't want to be put in a box, man. Even authority, like, I'm so against authority. It's my default. Like when somebody tells me to do something, or I should do something, my default is like, I don't want to do that. Now I'm wise enough to know that, like, that's still my default, where I think, no, I don't want to do that because you want me to do it. But then I'll actually think about it and think, is it something I want to do? And if it is, then it doesn't matter whether they've told me to do it or no, then I should just do it because I want to do it. Yeah. Man, I've got some Still got a lot of issues to work through, man. Maybe that I'm thinking all these things, it's like every year I get older, I enjoy it because I think I'm learning more about myself and I'm fixing all these problems, and the more you think about them, the more you realise how many issues you actually have, just from the upbringing you've had. And like, now I feel like a completely different person. I feel like the old me wasn't even me. It was some sort of me in a alternate universe. I guess that's normal. You just grow up and you start not caring too much about what folk think. And especially when you have a family, a wife and kids, really, you start thinking they're the only folk you care about. Sorry, that doesn't put that right. It's like that's the only folk you care what am I trying to fucking say? They're the only people I care about that think what they think of me. How can I not word this? Hopefully you know what I mean. I don't care about what MD thinks of me apart from my family. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But at the same time, I deeply care what everybody thinks. Because I still want to be a good person, like you can't be delusional. You know, a lot of folk think I don't care what MD thinks of me, but like you have to. Because then you could just become some sort of psychopath. If you're not aware of these things. Right. I'm Damie. I'll see you tomorrow.